And now with run program menu we select. With one press we select. Here we choose. We have the different programs, and in fact I'm going to take the protocol, the quick protocol, in order for you to see the reagents. We have one that is the hybridization solution that can precipitate when it's at 4 degrees, the SDS and this kind of solutions. So we check, and if necessary we heat it at 65 degrees. We can put in the same thermomixer at 65, and it's going to, with the heat, it's going to solve, so no issue.
If it is precipitated?
Yes,
okay.
It is the crystal. We generally do it by this fragrance we put, and it's okay.
Just to homogenize the solution.
We also switch on generally when we are going to start the car to know that it's working and it's everything fine, and we are not going to start a run and not read the data, but just as a procedure. Okay. And we then assure the amplified product, okay, that we are going to add to the wells to hybridize. Okay, so then we switch on what we have done. For HPV3 we select this program. We advise here, it's not a mistake, we select this program, okay?
Sure, okay.
And okay, he's going to ask where to start. It can start with the CS. I don't know if you have seen the wells that we have. In the visualization part, the genotyping kit, we do the detection of the amplified product in arrays. Okay? Yeah, sure. When we are going to do it, you will see that our arrays are strips with 5 wells, with 8 wells, sorry, and in the bottom is printed the DNA. So we can start in the A1 in the first position or in the fourth one. Okay, fifth one is A1 or E1.
A1,
so,
E1?
A1 or E1. Okay?
What's the difference?
That in one strip, for if you have the visualization kit, no, I think it's in the fridge. But when we open the envelope with the strips, okay, we are going to see that one strip has 8 wells.
Ah, like the plates.
So imagine that, for example, we analyze 4 samples. We are going to have left 4 CS that we have not used, and we can use later. Okay, so for example, now we are going to use a new strip. We start in A1, but if we have already used 4 wells, we can start in A1 and use the other 4. So we will start in A1, and then we press again, and it's going to ask us about the number of samples. Okay, we have 4 tips, so it's going to be multiple of 4, 4, 8, 12, and so on, 16, 20, and up to 96. Okay, now we select 8.
8 just have blanks as well.
We have 4.
Have 4 samples, so we select 8. To add, I think, blanks.
No, but for example, if we have 4, we can select 4.
Ah,
okay.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, let me go again, start again. HPV4, starting in A1. Here we can select 4. But now in this run that we are going to do, we have also positive controls, so we can include them to check that everything is working and so on. And a negative control in the PCR, for example. Okay, so imagine that we select 8. Okay, it's going to confirm that we want a sample from A1. Yes. We press to confirm. And then it's going to indicate us what we have to do. Load tip rack, that is this one. Okay, these tip racks. They are going to be placed here. There is only one position of the tip racks.
Okay.
I'm going to do one of you later, so we can in this way. And we close this. There.
Okay.
Then we load the microplate. Okay, here with the arrays. I have bring one from our technical service that used for calibration and all these things. And it's just for the OQ because it's going to add just water, okay? So this is like a strip. Here is where the they are printed, the microarrays. Okay, so the 8 positions, A1, and this what it was asking, E1, for example. Okay, so imagine we place the microplate here. Okay, we check the tip basket is this, that is empty. If we have used it before, we put it in the basket. We check also the waste stream that is here. Here is going to be the liquids. Okay.
Also
that is
discard
going
the
to use
liquid.
to discard the liquid, yeah.
Okay.
Like we will do when the machine finished. Okay, to clean it when it's finished, but just to check that everything is.
Is there a specific way to clean it?
No, water, bleach to decontaminate and clean and so on.
Okay.
It's
And
typically like the
then
lab.
distill water just to.
Yes.
Okay. Alright.
It's just like the bench and.
Okay.
Then it's going to ask us to load the water, distilled water, here, the full bottle. Load the TL reagent, that is this one. TL reagent is the wash buffer. What it's going to do, the wash buffer, the DNA that is printed, the proofs that are printed in the bottom of the wells are covered by salts, so we add the TL to remove this wash buffer and to have naked this DNA. We are going to add later the DNA of the PCR to hybridize and to detect.
Okay,
so
we'll see then
yes.
as well. Okay.
TL is the wash buffer to remove. We have to prepare the TL. We have a small bottle. We have to prepare a dilution. For example, for the 8 samples is 1 milliliter of TL plus 9 milliliters of distilled water. We have also over there a table with the volumes for 8 samples, this and this, and so on, in order you don't have to do calculations.
Το πρόλογο κάνουμε. Από εκεί βάλαμε. Έχουμε τελειώσει με τα. Έχουμε βάλει τα πρώτα buffer για την πρωτεϊνάση και το έχουμε βάλει να incubate 56.
Then we add the hybridization solution, the one that we have heated and so on, directly from the bottle, 1.8 milliliters here. The hybridization solution is the solution that is going to add the machine to these wells, and then we are going to add the DNA in this buffer in order this hybridization between the amplified product and the proofs that are printed in the bottom join. Okay. So next step, add the CJ reagent is the conjugate. The conjugate is a molecule of streptavidin that is binded to an enzyme. As the primers are biotinylated, okay, we are going to have the proofs, the DNA is going to hybridize, and then we are going to add the conjugate that is going to bind to this biotin, and we are going to immobilize this enzyme, okay, and finally the development solution that is a substrate of this enzyme. Okay, we are here the hybridization solution, and it's going to add. So what we are going to see is a precipitate where this hybridization has happened, detecting this microorganism or the HPV in this case. So this is all. Then it's going to do the last close the door and press button to start. Okay, we aren't going to do it, but if you want to abort, we press here, rotate and press, and then what we do is close the door, press start. It will start adding the TL, washing this TL, the arrays, and then adding the hybridization solutions. When the hybridization solution is added, it's going to beep. It means that we open the door and add in these wells the PCR product. Okay. In this case of HPV, we are going to add in each well. This is for one sample, for another sample, for another sample, 10 microliters of the amplified product of the PCR.
Okay.
Just add here. We place again in this, we close,
Ένα στριπάκια.
and it's going to add the rest of the reagents until the end. Once it's finished, we are going to take out this plate, and we are going to read here. We can switch on also this one.
So every kit has one plate inside it.
Yes, it is 48 samples, so it's half a plate. Yeah, 48 wells, one for each one of them.
The kit, then discard the kit after the procedure.
Sorry?
After
Yes.
After clot as well.
Yes. After read this, yeah, we can discard this.
Discard.
Yes. Yeah, and we have we have to read 1 week bit when it's finished. It's a colorimetric assay, so we have to read it. We cannot leave to read tomorrow, for example.
Yes.
It's a matter of replacing them all. New analysis. Okay. We have a representation of the plate. We are going to read this 8, for example. So
Okay.
we select.
Which one will it read?
Okay, we select. If we press 2 times, here we select the software that we want. Yes, that we want to read. Okay, imagine that we select HPV4.
HPV,
Okay.
we select the whole street, right?
Yes,
not
yes.
positions.
Yes.
We
If
select.
if we are going to read 4, for example, we can select 4. Okay. We can set the samples ID here, the reference or whatever. Okay. So here is where the kids are going to adjust. And if you have a few paper to
Okay.
Eh?
Just reading.
Yes.
Just to wash it now the machine.
No, the machine now is going to we're going to do an operational qualification, but it's a procedure to check that everything hits well, the pumps are taking the volumes, and it's just, so we are not going to use real reagents, it's just...
Just to perform the...
Yeah, the operation, yes.
The test.
Yes,
Like a functioning.
exactly.
Please come from here.
There is also a cleaning menu with the use of reagents and so on. There is any extracted. We have this additional bottle. In the cleaning menu, it's going to ask to fill this with bleach 10%. It's going to run bleach 10% through the system, and then it's going to ask us to place bottle water and
To
wash
wash again.
with water. Yes.
This is something that we proceed once per test, per run, or...
No. It's like from time to time, or if there is any obstruction. If you have an issue, you are going to contact us, and depending of what we see in the images, for example, if there is... Imagine that we don't solve the crystals of the HH, okay? And we are without heat them, and there are crystals. A crystal can obstruct eventually this tip, for example. So we would add this procedure if we see that it's not adding to clean and remove crystals, for example. But it's not happening. Here we don't have a PCR machine or something. We don't have here amplification, so there is no this problem of contamination that we would have if there is amplification inside.
Okay.
So we run OQ program, we select it. We are starting the well, it's okay, so we say yes. Number of samples, well, we have 96 because it's going to add in different positions. Yes. We loaded the tip wrap, we have the tips, okay. Load the microplate, we have the microplate. Check the basket, it's okay. Check what's true, it's placed and it's...
Αυτό έχει και το rack και το... Όχι. Αυτά βάζει μόνο τα tips, το rack το έχει μαζί του. Αλλά είναι ok. Έχει τα rack είναι σε εμάς. Είναι στα τρυπάκια, στα τεστ.
So we check that there is no way that it's everything okay. We load the water, okay, the water. We leave water in the TL, okay. And we load water in the SH.
So we...
Now we are going to do another thing. Yep, no. Just 1 second. So this is the initializing step.